Hi guys, it is Halloween and it is cold. That guy still has my jacket. He said that he was going to meet me today and he hasn't gotten back to me. I am cold. I've been wanting to talk about something and I'm not sure if anyone else has experience with this, and it's probably maybe like a really sensitive subject for some people, especially since I think like the people who regularly watch me are not people with uteruses. So sorry if you don't like this, but it's what's going on. Ever since my that special someone left 4 months ago, every time I'm supposed to have my period, I get the PMS symptoms, but then I don't really get a period. I get just like maybe like the tiniest bit of spotting. It's nothing I would call like a real period. And I do get the spotting every time. But it's been going on ever since then. It was not even gradual. It was like he was here and I was getting like periods, and then he left and it was just like gone. And I think it's the stress that I've been feeling ever since he left. It's been really hard for me. And it's terrible because my PMS symptoms over the last year have gotten so bad. I don't just mean stuff like being grumpy or craving chocolate or getting cramps. I mean like really, really bad, severe depression. And I use an app called Period Tracker, and in that app I can track symptoms, moods, and periods, and you can also use it for tracking like when you've had sex and stuff like that. And it can calculate like when you are ovulating, it can calculate when you are due for a period. And so that's how I know like when I'm supposed to have my periods, because it's gotten to the point where it's pretty accurate. And you can also track stuff like spotting and stuff like that. And I'm really glad that I do this because I was like tracking my moods in it, and I realized, because about a year ago, I was having like these spells where I would get really super depressed and really super anxious. Like I hated myself and I wanted to die and I didn't know why. And then I started to see a pattern that it was happening like right before my period every time. And it's like really intense. It's really bad. A really, really bad depression, really bad anxiety. And I mean, I already have depression and anxiety, so like it's amplified. And so now I know it is most likely going to be a hormonal issue whenever I have those problems. Unfortunately, understanding that that's what it is doesn't do anything to make it feel any better, And the same thing with just having general anxiety and depression. Understanding it's a hormone imbalance doesn't make it feel better. So it just explains it. So whenever I'm sad and I don't understand why, and I examine everything and I'm like, well, I don't see a reason why I'm sad, I can kind of safely assume it's probably a hormone thing, but I'm still sad because the hormones are still telling my body to be sad. So I have been getting that symptom really badly every time right before I'm supposed to have my period. And it will last like a week, sometimes 2 weeks. And I'm not getting like the periods, but I do get like some spotting. It's very light though. And I don't really know what I can do about it. I talked to a doctor because after he left, I did go to a doctor just for like a regular exam, like my annual exam and screenings that I always do, just to keep everything, safe, make sure that I don't have anything. And I talked to that doctor and I told her about how bad my PMS symptoms have been. And she said that she wasn't really sure why it would have suddenly started, except maybe because the last year and a half have just been so extra stressful for me. And I was asking if it could be because of my IUD. I have a Mirena IUD and I've had it for about 4.5 years. I'm due to have it replaced. Yeah, you replace it after 5 years. I'm due to have it replaced in May. And I was like, well, maybe the hormone levels are just like lower now, and maybe that drop in hormone levels could be causing it. And she didn't seem to think that that could be the case. I'm not sure. I have tried looking online for this, and there just doesn't seem to be much out there, like as far as studies, like credible studies, or even anecdotes talking about whether or not around the 4th year of having an IUD, you might experience something like that. And I love my IUD. I love it. It has really improved my periods. My periods before were really bad. I was having a period every like 2.5 to 3 weeks. That's just naturally how my body does it whenever I don't have hormonal birth control. That's why I've been on hormonal birth control since I was 17. But I was on the pill before. And once I started dating like cisgender men, rather than, because before I was with women and trans men, once I started dating cisgender men, it made more sense to have something that didn't require as much accountability on my part, because I have never been very good at taking my pills on time every day, and it never really mattered before. So I got my IUD, and the really nice thing about it is that it really reduced my periods. So I was still getting them just as often, but I wasn't losing as much blood, because before I was losing about 5 cups of blood a month. And I know because I have a Diva cup and it has little ounce measurements on it, and I was counting how many ounces of blood I was dumping out, and I got so severely anemic. So my IUD was actually primarily to treat that. My birth control has always been primarily to treat that. And before I got my IUD, I was actually off of my birth control pills for a while because I didn't have insurance. So I love my IUD. It was super painful to get it in because of my anatomy mainly. You know, I've never given birth, so that adds to it. So my cervix is not already dilated like someone who's given birth. And my uterus is tilted a lot. So it took a lot of digging around for them to insert it. It normally takes just like a couple minutes. It took her almost 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour, to insert it in me. It was horrible. It was horribly traumatic, but worth it, because it reduced my periods down to, for a lot of people, it'll take them away completely. It reduced my periods down to what I would consider a light period, but I think it might actually be like a normal period. And, I mean, I've never had normal periods, so I don't know, but to me it's really light, but I think it's normal just based off of like the types of products I was able to use. So I did consider maybe my IUD might be contributing to why I am not experiencing regular periods right now. But then that doesn't make sense either, because I've had it for 4 years and it's never taken them away completely. So the one thing that changed, because it wasn't gradual, like I said, it was like I was having like that normal period, and then he left, and like my whole entire world was like crushed and devastated. And then like I was having the PMS symptoms of like being horribly anxious and depressed, and then also like cramping and stuff like that, but no real period, just like really late spotting. So that is what changed, is like the level of stress in my life. So I do think it could be that. I have looked it up to see if it could be anything, and a lot of stuff just says it could be stress, or it could be other conditions. But I mean, I did go to the doctor during this time, and they didn't find anything wrong with me. So I don't know. people who have periods out there, have you experienced this? Have you experienced like having PMS symptoms but not actually having a period? Having like the bloating and the cramping and the irritability, the depression, anxiety, cravings, all of that, but then no period. It's a new thing for me. I mean, new in the last 4 months. And I'm not pregnant. I took many tests. I am not pregnant. So, I don't know. Well, that's what's going on right now. I am on my period. It's spotting around the time that I am supposed to be starting my period, and I was having PMS symptoms. So, like right now I'm feeling like anxious and sad and depressed whenever I don't really know of any trigger for it right now. So I'm thinking it's because of this. And I've been wanting to kind of share this just to see if anyone else has experience with this, and see if maybe anyone knows anything, or if you have experience with this and you're frustrated and you feel like you might be like the only person, because I have looked online and you know, there are some things, but they tend to be like, oh, you're in the early stages of pregnancy, which that is not the case. Or, you know, stress and that, or underlying conditions. And I was checked. I don't know of any underlying conditions. Stress is probably it, but, I don't know. I feel like I've been so stressed out before, and my periods usually just got heavier as a result. So maybe you are experiencing this and you kind of feel like you are alone in it. Maybe just knowing that someone else is going through it might be helpful for you. I don't know. Let me know. Like, comment below my video and let me know if you have experience with this, or if you know anything about it. I asked my doctor whenever I went to go see her. I asked her if there was anything I could do for the severe depression, because it is like really bad. Like, I will look at my calendar and I'm to the point where like I really dread when that's going to happen in my cycle, just because of how bad my depression gets. And she said that really the treatments are hormonal birth control, which I'm on because I have the Mirena IUD, and taking an antidepressant, which I wasn't taking anymore because with my celiac disease, it makes my stomach so sensitive that taking medications was making me sick. Around the time I started vlogging, about maybe like a week later, I did start taking my old medicine at night just to see if I could get away with it now, because I tried taking it at night before to see if like maybe I could just sleep through feeling sick, and I would still wake up feeling sick. And it's like a really bad kind of sick where I am just basically debilitated for the rest of the day. I can't do anything. I can't go to work. I can't wear pants, and you can't go to work if you can't put on clothes, and I can't go to the gym. So I gave it a break for a very long time, like a year, and I thought maybe, you know, my celiac damage might be healed enough now that maybe I could try it again. So for about the last month or month and a half, I've been taking it at night, and I'm actually taking half the dose that I was taking whenever I was taking it on a regular basis, because of course, you know, they don't start you at the full amount right away. They start you in small increments and work you up. So I've been taking that before going to bed, and I do think that it's helping me. So right now I'm not experiencing the extreme amount of depression that I was experiencing every month, but I'm still experiencing it. So I do all the stuff they say to do, you know, like I have a healthy diet. They say if you have pets like cats and dogs, that it can help. I have my own farm that lives with me. They say, work out. I go to the gym 5 to 7 times a week. They say, talk to people. That is really hard. That's why I started vlogging, because I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to, so I'm just talking to myself on a camera. And that does seem to help. They say to go out into nature. I've been doing that. They say write your feelings. I've done that. I feel like a lot of the stuff that they recommend, I'm not getting as much of a benefit from it as I do from taking an antidepressant. Because for me, it is not just feeling sad over sad things. It is truly a hormone imbalance, because when I got into a car accident, I got a brain injury, and it affected the way that my brain can regulate hormones. So ever since then, my brain does not regulate like serotonin and norepinephrine and the other hormones that control feelings of anxiety, happiness, depression, and even sleep. So taking an antidepressant actually probably is necessary to regulate that. It's a biological issue in my case. I never took them before that happened. And now it feels different. Like, the way I feel emotionally now feels different. Like, I feel like, compared to before my brain injury, like, I feel like antidepressants don't take away feelings for me. They just allow me to have more appropriate amounts of the feelings. Like, I still feel everything, but maybe I'm not like depressed for no reason like I get. And maybe instead of like being like horribly affected and sad and anxious about something like that is like really minor, I can just kind of have like an appropriate level of reaction to it. Like instead of being devastated that I lost my shoe, I can just be like mildly irritated. That for me is kind of how it is. Like, it regulates it more to like how I was before my brain injury. So I do think that they are helpful, but I don't know what else to do like for the PMS related depression and anxiety. I do think that's helping, but right now I don't have a doctor and I don't have health insurance. I mean, I do. It's preventative care only though. So I don't think it covers prescriptions, and it doesn't really cover anything other than like just like a checkup. So I found a bunch of my old bottles of pills, and I'm just using those to see how I'm tolerating it and seeing if it's helping me. And then hopefully I will be hired on. I'm a temp at my current job. Hopefully I'll be hired on eventually and get better insurance, and then I can actually get a prescription for it. I am a little afraid I'm going to like start taking it. It's going to be helping me, and then I'm going to run out of it and not be able to get a prescription for it again and not be able to refill it, and then have to start all over. So that's what's going on with that. Okay, well, this is a long rambly video, but if you stuck with me to the end, thank you. Let me know if you have any experience with anxiety, depression, things that might help with anxiety, depression, especially if it's related to PMS. Let me know if you have experience with having PMS symptoms, but no period. Let me know that too. I hope you guys are having a happy and safe, fun Halloween, a happy, safe, fun Diwali, whatever it is that you're celebrating today. If you are celebrating anything. If you're not celebrating anything, have a happy and safe day. Today is Monday. Have a happy and safe Monday. I will talk to you guys later. I'm hoping to be able to see Mang tonight. We will see. I think my gym is closing early for Halloween. I'm not really sure why. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.